I have seen a lot of people before the second beta announcement were saying that the game is ready to release, the game looks good already, why they haven't released it yet? People were rushing Kuro to release faster. So you know what, I will just make another review video why closed beta build is being called beta and not release or final build. So for today's video, I'm going to address some of these technical issues that we had in the first beta, and so you guys know why they need to rewrite 90% of the story, and also so you guys can appreciate the effort that they put into the game a little bit more. And the title of this video is The Dark Side of the First Beta of Wuthering Waves. Now, just so you guys know, in the past, I already made a video about my impression with the first beta, which is to summarize, was not really that good outside of the combat. But even in combat, it had its flaw. Don't get me wrong, the combat was good, as expected from the developer of punishinggrayraven. But again, it's not perfect and it still have room for improvement. I try not to be so blatant about it in my first video, but after seeing the devlog video, I think I also need to talk about this, so people would realize why Kuro is so amazing with the fact that they transformed the game in just a mere 9 months, which honestly for me is not enough to address the issues that we had in the first beta. So let's just start. First issue on the list, obviously, technical issues or bugs. I really hate to say this, but the game wasn't bug-free. In fact, there were many technical issues, which again why it was called beta. I can put this into a long list if I want to. For example, like the lock-on feature, it was so janky. Sometimes it lost track of the boss and I had to keep spamming the button to make sure the camera keep locking on target. Some characters' ultimate even killed the lock-on camera, such as Yen, which is why I didn't use his ultimate for the showcase. In co-op mode, if you want to enter a dungeon together, you need to click enter at the same time with your teammate and pray that you will enter together. Some important quests like world level quest does not even appear as a main quest, so you have to look at the list of your quests by yourself. And I literally stuck for a whole day in the same level, and honestly I wouldn't figure it out if I haven't asked any beta tester back then. If the game crashes when you are in the middle of a quest, you might lose your quest item, which will make that quest unclearable, and to solve this, I had to contact the customer service and reinstall the whole client again, which clearly took a lot of my time, as I have to explain specifically how this happened to the customer service and provide a necessary game file for them to check. A lot of boss had bad hitboxes. I remember I had to redo the fight against Scar so many times because the dude just decided to hit me from 69 meters away with his invisible punches, so I decided to just press the dodge button anyway every time he wants to hit, even from million meters away. Just to remind you all of these issues that I have mentioned are based on my experience. Other person might find another bugs that I didn't find, and this is just to show you guys that the game wasn't free from bugs, and in fact it feels janky overall. CBT1 was only available for Chinese, Japanese, and North American only. And even with this, the translations were rough. It literally feels like talking with Google Translate. Even in English builds, some texts were still written in Chinese, and this wasn't just on the menu but also some of the word quests as well. And not to mention that except for Chinese, the beta build didn't have any voice acting. I've seen the fact for CBT2, and it appears that we won't have voice acting yet for this beta, but I won't blame them for this because this issue is related with story, which I'm about to talk in a few minutes. Some dungeon didn't have any music playing in the background. For example, like this fight against Scar, it doesn't have any background music, so you know why I have to put another music for the showcase. Why they need to do such drastic measures as changing 90% of the story? I've already talked about this in my previous video. To summarize, the story was simply not that engaging. It's just plain boring. I'm really sorry to say this, but it is what it is. I can bet that if you guys asking any CBT1 players out there about their opinion with the story, they may not even remember about it, because nobody cares about the story anyway, everyone just wants the combat. But seeing the devs themselves actually cares about it, they look really tired, and even apologize to us, it makes me feel really bad, I'm not gonna lie.
所以也借此机会吧，也想跟漂泊者们致歉， 很抱歉在上一次的体验当中给大家带来了不好的体验，辜负了大家的一些期待。
作为玩家，我觉得蛮感动的，因为我没想到会有这么大的改动。
那制作组预期新的剧情可以给玩家带来什么样的感想？
只有一句话，希望你们喜欢。为了这个目标，我们会不断的改进迭代、优化。我们现在可能还有挺多不足的地方，但是我们会坚持一点一点把它做好。也很欢迎所有的漂泊者来给予我们反馈和建议。明朝会一直保持聆听，保持进步。
But still, I won't take what I said before because if I try to sugarcoat it, they might not taking this issue seriously. I can see the reason why they have to change 90% of it, because even if they put voice acting into it, I don't think it will make the story even more engaging. I already played a bunch of gacha games before without voice acting in the story, and it still entertains me more than reading the story in CPT1. This is my honest opinion. And they just proved my point about how serious this issue was with the fact that they have to rewrite almost the entirety of the story, which also explains why we didn't have any voice acting yet in CVT1, because it's going to be such a waste to voice over a dialogue that you won't use in final release anyway. I think this might be the case for CVT2 as well. Depending on how much people are going to like the story, they might need to change the story a little bit more later, so that's why they are not going to do voiceover just yet. But still, it touched me so much that they are willing to throw away 90% of their progress just to make sure that we enjoy the final product. And not to mention that Cyanbird already had voiceover, so that means that they need to record for it again. They also need to make a bunch of new cutscenes, while also at the same time fixing the other issues that we already mentioned before. So you probably can imagine how many hours they need to work every week just to arrive at this point. So yeah, I'm really excited. I already got the access into the second beta. I really hope there won't be any issue anymore, because clearly I don't want them to redo 90% of their progress again. That is insane, and I'm pretty sure that they don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, that's all about the video. I'm really confident to say that this game might release this year because there isn't anything else they can do. So what do you guys think? Do you feel enlightened already with the issue that we had in the first beta? And when do you think they will release the game? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time.
好，那今天明朝开发组特别对谈节目就到此结束了，真的特别感谢两位嘉宾的到来，谢谢二位，
谢谢。
OK， 时间过得飞快，那我们就相约在明朝的全新一轮测试里面再见啦，拜拜，
拜拜。